Of course, you're still here on Bonus Stage Plus, and today we are featuring Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, which we've talked about on a previous episode, and you might have even seen a trailer for the upcoming Collector's Edition. Now, to get you up to speed, if you're just joining us right now, and I really hope that you get to catch previous episodes of Bonus Stage Plus, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid is a 3 vs 3 tag team fighter with clear influences from the Marvel vs. Capcom series. After all, its lead battle designer is a veteran of the scene. We're talking about Daniel Maniago, aka Clockwork, who was a pretty big name / competitor in the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 days, and the influence clearly shows. Now, when this game came out last year, I wasn't very kind to it. I thought that, of course, the roster was super small, it was very bare bones, I didn't even pick it up. I only got this one pretty recently. And yeah, it's come a long way. The folks over at Enway have put in a lot of work into making this game the way it is right now. It is in fantastic shape, and they even had a tournament recently, which is super hype. Maybe I'll link it sometime. And, of course, they've done it through, constant updates, free and paid DLC, and, of course, there's more on the way. So what we're going to do today is not really that much of a deep dive, but at least I'll get to show you how the game works, and, show you at least a smattering of some of the modes. Maybe not quite online because there aren't a lot of players at this hour, but at least give you an idea of how this game is, which is basically a celebration of 20 plus years of Power Rangers, and this also is a tie-up or a way to promote the Shattered Grid storyline from Boom Studios, which is a comic which I hear is pretty good. So I haven't really gotten on that, and I need to read that one soon. And one of the writers on that storyline actually helped make the story mode for this one. So it's I guess all of that condensed into a shorter fighting game experience, but they just really want you to read the Boom Studios comic. I hear, yes, that it's really good, and I should get on that too. But anyway, let's hop into training mode. Let's show you how things work here. So, heading into training match, there's also a tutorial. As you can see, yes, this is the roster. Back when this first came out, not a lot of folks here. So, I don't quite have all the seasons yet, but I do have Season 2 of DLC. Let's go with my standard team, which I already have here as a preset. And then set up, of course, our training targets. Let's have Daishi, Mastodon Sentry, and Lord Draken. Lord Draken, by the way, is a comics exclusive character, an evil alternate dimension version of Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger, of course. Well, he started out as the Green Ranger and just became a bunch of other Rangers along the way throughout the years. And, of course, one major mechanic here is the Zord assists. Well, not all of them are Zords. You got Mega Goldar, who's a giant version of the classic villain Goldar. But let's start off, or let's just go with the classic Dino Megazord for this one. My team has the Samurai Megazord. But, okay, let's do it in the training room just to make sure things are all nice and clear. Now, the thing about this is that it is a 6-button fighter. However, don't let that intimidate you, because what they've done with this, or what they've done with the mechanics here, let's center our folks on screen, and yeah, let me show you how this works. I'm using an arcade stick for this one. So you have, of course, light, medium, you have your heavy attack, hope I'm pressing that right, special, by the way. In Shadow Ranger's case, this puts him into a special stance, and then you have to press an extra button afterwards to do something else. You can also cancel out of it, which is a major part of how he works. So, how does this game work? Well, as a standard, as I said, it is pretty much a 3v3 fighter in the vein of Marvel vs. Capcom. However, what they've done with special moves here is that they have no motion input, so you don't have to do, let's say, Hadouken or Shoryuken motions anymore. It's all just a direction plus a special, and I feel like I'm not illustrating this well enough with Shadow Ranger, or he's not quite the best example for how this mechanic works. So let's tag him out and bring in RJ, the Jungle Fury Wolf Ranger. Now, before anything else, I want you guys to listen closely and just listen closely to one of his specific voice lines. This is for his super attack, alright? And try to tell me that this does not sound like Renzo of the home run. So we're gonna do that super right now, which, by the way, you can perform by simply pressing heavy attack and special together. For my current setup, that will be R1 and X. So come on, just listen for Renzo's voice here, and trust me, it's right there.
This is the courage of a wolf! Lunar Cycle!
Right? Maybe I'll have Renzo record a clip of him saying that. But anyway, moving back to how the game works. So there are no motion inputs for specials. It's all just one button press. For RJ, you get the wolf wheel. Alright? That's the basic one. And then there are a bunch of follow-ups for this, and I don't have to do any motions. It's always just a direction plus, of course, the special button, which in my case is the X button. So what we want to do here is, just show off what he can do with his various uses of the special button. So if it's forward special, okay, this is a special forward jump. Alright, it's a fast one. And if your opponent is, let's say, mid-screen, you're instantly going to be on the other side. Wait, no, not that button. Forward special, and you can easily cross them up or confuse them. Alright? And next is back special, which is a simple lunging punch. Alright? You just have this, but if we do this, like hold back and, of course, special button, or that would be back and X for me. Alright, that's going to charge it up. And in this state, he can actually avoid projectile attacks. He is invincible to them. And if I release this, it's going to be a really powerful punch. Alright, it's got wall bounce. It doesn't do a lot in terms of damage, but then again, I did that at a pretty far range. Let's try to do that again, but a wee bit closer. Alright, then release. So it hits harder. But it gives you wall bounce, and then you can follow up from there. So let's try it this way. Okay, so charge. Come in a bit closer. And then he'll hold the charge. So you can press back and X. Then follow up. Alright.
Nice.
That caused the flip out, but that's a whole different mechanic that we'll be talking about at another time. Alright? So, with all that in mind, of course, this game has a pretty, how would I put it, a pretty flexible and intricate combo system. There are online resources on how to learn this, but for the most part, this is easily one of the most accessible fighting games out there because, of course, they've taken out motions from special move inputs. So all you have to do is just a direction plus special. Now for Wolf Wheel, you have different follow-ups. So if I press, let's say, X, then back X, it gives me this. Or wait. Alright. Or X and forward X. These need to be in quick succession. Alright. It gives me different follow-ups to RJ's Wolf Wheel. And these are going to be, of course, integral in his combos. Let's see if I can perform one using, let me see, using a charged ignition knuckle. So we're going to jump from here, try to get this going. And I messed up the special input, or the super input, but you get the idea. If that hit, that would have been a touch of death combo, or just taken out his entire life bar. Of course, of all the times for me to miss it. And of course, the super in and of itself is pretty damaging. But you get the idea. It's a fighting game with simple controls, but once you start to really dig beneath the surface,
I'll take it easy on you.
the combos are just amazing. And let's see if I can pull this one off.
I saw. Is this all?
Okay, I dropped it. But one more time before we move on to other modes.
You have
Okay, you get the idea. And then it's supposed to end in a super like this, and just basically do a ton of damage. But the thing here is, yes, even super attacks don't take a lot of effort to pull off, because all you have to do is hit these two buttons. So that's R1 and X. Of course, you can play this on pad. It's very pad friendly. So these two will result in this. And because I'm really stubborn and I want to try to perform that right now, let's give it another go. Okay, one more. And then I swear we're gonna move on to the next modes. Okay, so right now, yes, my inputs are like really off, but at least I got the RJ combo. That's one thing we can leave with. And of course, let's head on and check out what else is in the game. So of course, you got your standard arcade playthroughs. You have your story mode, which I said is written by Kyle Higgins, one of the writers on the Shattered Grid storyline. And okay, let's give that a look, and then do, I guess, a bit of an arcade playthrough. Alright, or we start with arcade mode. So let's start off with, okay, who else have I been trying? Okay, we've done, yeah, my team's pretty much here. So let's bring in Gia, the Yellow Ranger from Super Mega Force. Let's also try Daishi from Jungle Fury. And of course, RJ as my anchor, or my third character. And then with this, okay, after you're done selecting your team, you choose a Zord assist, and you can call them in after you've taken a set amount of damage. So it's all done just by hitting 3 buttons at the same time. No complex motions needed, just like other stuff in this game. And for this one, how about we go with the SPD Megazord, because I love that one too. Alright, so 7 stages for arcade mode. There's no story, there's specifically no story, but you are fighting Lord Draken at the end of this, and a couple of Mastodon sentries, so, well, that's, I guess, a bit of a spoiler, but, yeah, not too big. We're just gonna show you how the battle system works here. And, of course, we're going up against, let's see, Green Ranger, Cenozoic Blue from the 2017 movie, and the Cat Ranger from Power Rangers SPD. And I'm glad that I still know my seasons. Of course, you can chain all these attacks together just with, like, repeated button presses. And just get simple auto combos out of them. You can keep following them up. You can even launch opponents into the air. And all that stuff. Just a lot of flashy stuff. Just think of it like, of course, a Marvel vs. Capcom game, but it just happens to be a little more grounded. And of course, you get assists. So if I press assist 1, I'm gonna get Daishi. If I press assist 2, that gives me RJ. And in this game, unlike, let's say, Marvel, you don't have to hold the assist button down to tag in your next character. Instead, you do a double tap. Alright, so that brings in Daishi. And let's check out his super move. It's this one. And it managed to take out Tommy. Of course, Daishi, a DLC character, and what they've done with some of the extra characters that they added towards, I think, the 2nd and 3rd seasons, is just give them, like, really cool mechanics that make more use of the special move button. So there's a lot more follow-ups here than you would expect from a simple fighter such as this. He's got stuff like a jumping lunge that can put you on the that can easily put you on the other side of your opponent and then just swipe down like this. And if you happen to do nothing, you just do a sliding kick like this. So yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. And well, my Zord meter isn't filling up because I'm not racking up a lot of damage. But let's show off what RJ can do. Alright, you can keep that juggle going by, of course, I'm getting blocked here. I'm still getting blocked. Okay, we got it going. This should pick it up. There we go. And I'm not sure, well, it's not a kill. Let's bring in an assist. However, he still gets hit. Let's try the EX. EX is done by, of course, every character has this. You press your light attack and your special, and it's basically an enhanced special move. Like, you've seen this in other games, let's say like Street Fighter, Darkstalkers. Yes, Darkstalkers is one of the originators of this, and a bunch of other titles. In this case, yeah, simple button press, everyone has it, and RJ's is a two-parter.
Incinerate.
However, it did not land. Alright, let's end that fight. So there you have it. That is one match from arcade mode, and let's try to move on to story mode. I actually haven't quite played story mode yet, because I gotta admit, once I got this game, I actually just went straight into training mode, and I had at least one other friend who also did the same. Like, we didn't play arcade or story, just went straight into training mode. Figured out which teams we liked.
We'll never give up without a fight.
Figured out our mains and just went at it online. You can catch some of those streams, of course, on my personal Twitch, by the way. That is it_burns.
2, 1.
So, opponents this time around, of course, the White Mystic Ranger. We have, yeah, Kimberly and Tommy on the opposing team. So, just do a bit of this. So that's how fun the combo system is, really. And then exit out of here. Let's try to show you a little bit of the story mode as the last part. So for story, it's told in multiple parts with, of course, mandatory battles. So let's get right into it. It features voice acting. It finally features voice acting. That's something I forgot to mention. This game, when it first came out, did not have voice acting. So they finally added that. And of course there are chapters, they're all voiced. It's like you're watching a motion comic, basically. And yeah, this will also be my first time experiencing this, because I really haven't delved into story mode.
Zordon is gone. The Rangers and their last stand have been crushed. You've taken the white light for yourself. This is a big day, Lord Draken. You've made me very
Of course, Rita's here.
Thank you, Empress.
And yet, for all that we have accomplished, you don't seem pleased.
I've had a lot on my mind.
Tell me, child, what troubles you?
Zordon chose children for a reason. Their hope, their optimism, but also their naivete, their ability to be controlled. Eventually, though, every child realizes the truth.
So yes,
parents,
Shattered Grid
all their
itself
strengths,
is a very dark storyline.
flawed.
Well, I wouldn't say very dark, because this is Power Rangers after all, but
That
it
in
is
ways
a darker than usual take on the franchise. And
Eventually,
there are...
every child realizes
I wouldn't really say that
must grow
it's
up.
that much of a spoiler, but you know, you've come to expect that if it's going to be a take like this, there are going to be character deaths, just like this one. So
gave me these powers.
there you have it. Rita's
So
been
we
taken
figured
out.
They'd be your end. Rest now. Time is done. I will continue with
So
you
that's the
started.
prologue. And I'm not quite sure how this first battle is going to play out. It's not going to be a full-on team affair. Sometimes you'll just be fighting one character, but with multiple life bars. And of course, you got these non-voiced parts, where you just, you know, of course, read text boxes. Alright. This seems to be a quote-unquote training match.
You know what
So
they
you got
say,
Jason
too
and
much
Kimberly.
power is dangerous.
3, 2, 1.
In this case, actually, this version of Kimberly is an extra downloadable skin, because the actual form that she has here is that of a Ranger Slayer, another comic-exclusive character. So that's like, I've never played as Jason before, so I'm still trying to figure out his specials too. Okay. Back special is the backwards roll. Forward X is this charging strike. And his EX is... Of course, that's a launcher, I think. That'll knock him back down to the air heavy. And then, of course, you can chain your attacks and then end with a super. Something along the lines of this. That's an EX. Not a super. But you get the idea. Build up a little more meter as we go along. So down heavy is the launcher. And I do have enough for a super, so let's try that. There we go. Combo into that. And that takes her out. So that's the first battle of story mode, which is a pretty recent addition. So that's I'm just glad that they actually added this here. And the game is shaping up. They're planning more updates. In fact, I think the second DLC character for Season 3, yes, they are in their third season of DLC, is coming out this September. That is Lauren Shiba, the female Red Ranger of the Power Rangers Samurai squad. And yes, she will be out by then. Looking forward to actually getting her and trying her out in the game, and she definitely looks like someone that I would have in my team. So, alright, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, highly recommend it, especially if you're a fan of the series and have been, I don't know, starving for a really good Power Rangers game for ages. And here's the thing, alright, how would I put it? If you also happen to, be starving for a good 3 versus 3 fighting game, or, something just in the vein of Marvel vs. Capcom and other fighters of its ilk, alright? And, maybe something like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite didn't quite do it for you, then this is it. And I'm just glad that there are more updates coming down in the future, and this game is only going to continue to grow. It's available on... of course, PS4, Xbox One, PC, on Switch. I think it's also on Stadia, so it's on a bunch of platforms. And here's the cool thing. It has cross-play, or cross-platform play, across everything that it's available on. So if you're on PS4, you can play against your Switch, PC, Xbox, and Stadia friends. They just have a service for that, and I'm glad that, yes, the community is sort of brought together like that. And in fact, during one of my online sessions, I also got to fight someone all the way from New York, which is really neat. So, in its current state, if you ask me, like, where Power Rangers Battle for the Grid would be as, like, an entire experience, and not just talking about the fighting mechanics, I would put it at maybe, I'd put it at 7.5 as a complete package. But if we're talking just about, the mechanical bits, like the actual combat system and the fighting, I would put it at an 8.5. If you just actually wanted those numbers. But there you have it. I just really, really like this game, and I would definitely say it's one of my better purchases of the year. And with that, of course, this has been Bonus Stage Plus. My name is Billy. Once again, do follow us on our socials. We are at 995PlayFM on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And as for yours truly, yes, it is it_Burns, also on Twitter, Instagram, and I do have a Twitch with that same name. Follow me on there because I do stream a lot of this and a bunch of other fighting games and Animal Crossing. I'm not forgetting about that. So, with that, of course, it's been great, and I will see you next time.